Hello everyone, and welcome back to Season 1 of my Let's Play series. You have joined episode 23. I am preparing to make a very special mattock that I'm going to be able to put out in my Ender Farmer to start harvesting trees for me. I wanted you guys to see part of this process at least. I've already made a bunch of obsidian, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But first, I wanted to finish getting these gold plates, and I believe I'm going to want 5 of them. So let me get my last one. Each one of these plates is going to take 2 gold ingots to make. There's my 5th one. And I'm going to come over here to our part builder. And what I want to do is we're going to basically make a mattock, which is going to be this guy. We want an axe head, a shovel head, and a tool rod. But we're going to make this completely out of paper. So let's get our pieces. And you can make paper by getting sugar cane or I believe it's some kind of rice. Will also make paper. Paper is pretty easy to make. And we'll come over here to the tool forge, select the mattock, get this stuff in there. We'll take that out of there, and let's head to the anvil part. And let's look at this for just a second. It has a durability of 6, which isn't going to be very much, but it does have 5 modifiers on it. So let's head over to this crafting station just for a second so I can show you what we're going to be able to do here. We're going to take these blank casts that we made out of gold in the center, and we're going to surround it with obsidian. And now you can see we get this little reinforcement modifier. So we're going to take those 5. And head back over to the tool forge. And this paper mattock that we just put in, we're going to surround this with these reinforced plates that we just made out of obsidian and gold. And you're going to have to take this out and put it back in for each one of these. But if you see, it's getting reinforced each time we do this. Reinforced 4. And now we've got that unbreakable on there. Each level adds 20% chance not to use durability. And we basically have 5 of those on there, so there's a 100% chance that this is not going to break. And as a matter of fact, you can see that up there towards the top it says tree mattock, rideable to, and unbreakable. And that's what we were going for. So now, do I have my ender on me? Oh, you know, I bet I left it charging. Wanted to get that charged up yet. Got a bunch of my stuff in here. We should be able to pop outside just for a minute here. And when I pop this in here, it should start harvesting those trees for me. And in fact, it harvested it so fast, it temporarily has filled up this output. So I may need to go and check out our drawer system down there. That's something I can work on between episodes. We'll go take a sneak peek at it and see what those drawers are holding for us now. And yeah, it'll work itself out. It looks like there's going to be plenty of room to work itself out there. So we'll come back and check on that later. And you may have noticed that my elevator now goes up to the 2nd floor. We can take a look at that later as well. Because what I wanted to do today, I want to get back to working on Botania. And we can work on automating this resonator probably in the next episode, because I want to get back to crafting some things that are going to be pretty useful for us. You can see I've got some pretty full mana pools, which is going to be enough for us to get the next couple of items I wanted us to be able to get. One of them that I want to work on today is, if I can find my ingots, there they are up there. Let's take a look in our book. I want to work on this guy, the mana lens. This is going to let us build a pretty neat gadget, but we need to get this mana lens first. And that was 4 of these. These are those mana steel ingots we made by dropping the iron into the mana pool. Now we get a mana lens. And let's see if we hit U, if it'll bring up what I'd like to make that way. And yes, we need the magnetizing mana lens, which is going to be a bit of iron and a bit of gold. So let's get a gold ingot and an iron ingot, and we should be able to combine these in our crafting grid right here. And now we have a mana lens magnetizing. So let's see what we can use this for. I'm going to want 4 more of these mana steel ingots. I believe it may have been this, or was it this? I never can remember. Let's take a look again. Oh, yeah, it was like that. Okay. And that gives us our ring of magnetization. And this can go in one of your ringed bauble slots. And now, when we drop things on the ground, we should be able to pick them up from a pretty far way away. You can see that little extra particle effect. When you first drop something on the ground, it takes a few seconds before your inventory will pick it back up again. That is a Minecraft mechanic to make sure that you're not trying to pick stuff up that you actually do want to get rid of. And you can see, how far away these things can be. I mean, that was what, 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks away. And we can pick stuff up now. Now, the problem with this is going to be when I go down in my basement, or even if we're over here. Let's see if I don't think we're going to have anything in there. Let's get a piece of coal. See if we can't get that resonated up. But unfortunately, what that magnetic ring is going to do is it's also going to pick up this red coal that drops on the ground. That's almost done. But there is something we're going to be able to do about that. And you can see, I believe I just picked up that piece of red coal from over here. And that really probably isn't going to work very well for me. So what I'm going to want to do is we're going to want to make another flower from Botania. And I honestly don't know if I have enough on me to do it, but we're going to find out. What we'll want is this functional flora, I believe. And we're going to want one of these, what is that, a Solagnolia? Red petal, blue petal, 2 brown petals. Now, what I don't know is if I have, I do have, excellent, blue petals, red petals, and brown. And we're also going to need one of those redstone roots again. Which is redstone and a piece of grass. There we go, redstone root. So we need 2 brown, 1 red, and a blue. We'll also need, I think I may need to put my book up here for just a second. Let's put a little bit of this stuff up real quick. There we go. That should give us some room. So that was going to be 2 of those, 1 of those, 1 of those, and if the seed had fallen in there, oh, we forgot the redstone root. There we go. Now we drop the seed in there. And now we have our Solagnolia. And I believe if I place it down over here, now I don't want to put it right next to the pressure plate because that's probably going to disrupt the redstone signal. So if I put it there and we drop our red coal back in there, now that should be disrupting. Oh, I got too close to it, I think. There we go. It's still, if you get close to it, you know, with your personal inventory, you're still going to try to pick that up. But that should have taken care of that problem right there. I am going to make 1 more of these. Let's see, blue, brown, red, redstone root, and there's another Solagnolia. I wanted to get 1 of these to put down in our basement so that I'm not picking up these seeds when I walk by. And if there's any on the ground when we get down there, you'll see immediately, and there's not good. So let's put this about right here, I think. Huh, I don't have any dirt. I'm sure I do in my grid system somewhere. Where's my shovel? There it is. We'll just hijack a piece of this dirt out of here. Eventually I will get the basement all prettied up. Oh, and I can't because I believe... Oh, there it is. I had dirt on me anyway. I didn't see it. There it is. But you can see what happened there. My ring immediately picked that up, which is not what I wanted to have happen. But now with this here, I can come down here pretty much all I want, and you can see that I am no longer picking up this stuff with my ring. And that is exactly what we wanted to have happen. And there's one other thing. We're not going to be able to get into it today. We still have a little bit more work. We still have a little bit more work to do before we'll have everything that we need to get this item crafted. But I wanted to show you at least one of the things in Britannia that we are working towards and why I'm going to want so much of this mana. Let's get any coal. Let me get a little bit of this coal out of here. I'll start cooking this stuff up again. And what I'm mainly wanting to get from Britannia, let's see, where did it go? This Alphomancy, I think, is what we're going to want to look at. The Port of the Elfheim. This is what I'm interested in building. This thing. It's another type of portal. For that, we're going to need some of these fancy living rock or living woods. I don't even know how to make these yet. That's something we'll have to figure out together. But basically, I'm going to be able to throw stuff through this, and I'm going to get better stuff in return. Now, we can't go there. It's not something that we are able to do yet. However, we will be able to get some pretty useful items. Wow, we did get quite a bit done. We got a ring of magnetization. We got our tree farm running. Let's run over and take a quick peek at it. There we go. And as this thing harvests, it will keep up to 16 of each of whatever seeds you've got in here, or in this case, saplings. So oh, I better get out of there. I think a tree just grew on me. There we go. Oh, even better, I was attacked by... There you are. Anyway, this thing does take a pretty decent amount of power. As we harvest these things, it's going to keep up to 16 of these saplings first. And then it's going to put some saplings over here. And I do have these locked, so we don't have to worry about it spending the very last one, or at least it'll remember what was in there if it does. So once these things kind of start growing, we'll get more of those saplings. And I should be getting some pretty decent wood drops down in the drawer system I have down here. Oh yeah. Spruce wood. More spruce wood. Now, I may need to lock these drawers and help it out with assigning where things go. We will also get apple drops from those oak trees, so we'll have a nice little source of food there as well. Once we get some more of these drops, I'll probably have to manually sort these drawers out to keep everything looking nice and neat. And I wanted to show you guys, I do want to show you guys what I'm working on for the second story. This is kind of what I'm thinking. And I've got some plans for this little area. I think I've got something that I think I may work on right now. Something just to spruce it up a little bit. See if I have any netherrack. I do. We're going to need a little bit of netherrack for this. And let's see if I have any iron bars handy. Well, I've got a few. I'll probably want a few more than that. And let's see if I've got my flint and steel handy somewhere. There it is. I just kind of want to give this a little bit of a touch here. Just a little bit. I'm thinking maybe I can do something like that. I might want to bring that down one. Let's try bringing that down to the bottom. So I'm thinking something like this might end up looking kind of cool. Bear with me. I may need to go get some more of these iron bars. I do. So we'll craft up a couple more of those. I wasn't sure how many it was going to take. Let's see if we can't get a couple more. Now, if I take my flint and steel, do something like this. I'm thinking these on the outside might not be necessary. About this. I'm kind of liking that. I like how that works out. We can do the same thing over here. A couple more pieces in another rack. Just can't let me have nothing nice, can they? It's like that guy's been stealing from my chickens. There we go. There, I think that's going to be kind of nice. I like the ambience that gives off. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking that's pretty cool. Then I want to show you one other thing I've been working on. My ender pearl situation is dreadful. A lot of the things that I like to craft, I need ender pearls for. It's not really working out too well. So what I'm going to want to make is a powered spawner. And what I'm going to be able to do with that, if we had a soul vial, let's say it had an enderman in it, and I were to combine that with a broken spawner, I will end up with an enderman spawner, which I will be able, I believe, to combine with a powered spawner. Which I actually have managed to capture an enderman in a soul vial. and I just happen to have a broken blaze spawner, which honestly, I wasn't really wanting to use this blaze spawner for this, but when I take these items, and I can always go get more spawners later. That blaze spawners, they're actually fairly common in the Nether, so I'm sure we'll come across some more. Basically, if I take these items and place them in the soul binder, which, by the way, I did craft an octadic capacitor for this because this machine is painfully slow. It's going to take 8 levels, and even with that octadic capacitor in here, you can see how slow this binding process is, which is why I put the octadic capacitor in there. I mean, this is going unbelievably slow, and this is as fast as this machine is allowed to go. But basically, it's going to bind that Enderman to the spawner, and I should get an Enderman spawner when this is done. While that's cooking up, let me show you what I've done to get our obsidian. Basically, I've got the grid set up with some exporters here that are each set to, one is set to lava, one is set to water. And I also, these are smeltery drains now. And if you take your full tank, you can just right-click the empty one, and it will automatically replace it for you there. And then I just take these and put them back over here on the wall, and they automatically fill back up with the appropriate liquids and are ready for me when I need them. And then this stuff combines in the smeltery to form obsidian, which we can pour out into here. It's not completely automated, and there is a way that we'll be able to totally automate the generation of obsidian. But I felt that for now, that was going to be the quickest way without spending a whole lot more resources, because I only needed not quite a stack to make that paper-matic unbreakable that we made for the tree farm out there. Sounds like that guy is done. There we go. Now I've got a broken Enderman spawner, but it spawns Enderman. So, I don't know that I've got the stuff to make the powered spawner. I've got it ready. Like, I have it ready to craft. Oh, you know what, guys? I think I may actually have enough stuff to finally make this thing. Let me get my extra stuff put up here. And let's see if we can get that auto-crafted. That is crazy. I did not think that I had progressed far enough even for the auto-crafting of that yet. That is fantastic. I think what did it is I did set up some auto-crafting for smelting purposes. So now I can automatically craft vibrant alloys, redstone alloys, binder composites, binder conduits, quartz glass, and these energetic alloys. And that was real easy to set up. You just need a couple of smelters, these auto crafters, and down underneath I have more of those importers. It's the same basic principle as how we automated these solderers, except instead of doing the soldering, we're doing smelting. And again, to set up those patterns, you come over to your process pattern encoder, and whatever you want to smelt in there, like we could set up solarium, for instance. And it's going to say that soul, sand, and gold in a smelter will give us solarium, and we can pop that in one of our crafters. And now when we look for solarium, We have 3 in there already. Now you can see that we have the option to auto-craft it. That's crazy. That is probably going to take a little while to cook up. So while that stuff is all getting cooked up, let me show you what I've been doing over here. Basically over here, this is going to be, let's call it our detention center. Now, I may end up changing this from a room. I haven't decided yet. I'm basically going to have a room for each kind of mob that I want to kill. That's basically what I'm thinking. And I may want to go ahead and turn this part back into hallway and have some more rooms on the sides here. But, you know, like I've got a room set aside. Like I know I'm going to want one to kill blazes. I'm going to want one for endermen. And if I can get so lucky, I may want a way to automatically kill wither skeletons. Because I am going to want some of the drops that they have. So these are just some of the things that I've been working on to help improve our quality of life. I think the first step, though, is going to be setting up the Enderman spawner. And that's not because of my ring. That's just happening because I'm getting too close to them physically. So what I may do to help prevent that as well is I may end up just encasing this little area in some kind of glass or something. And we are getting quite the stockpile of empowered and crystallized seeds, which is good. This thing is basically settled down now. We're not constantly killing power with it. I think we've gotten to the point where as the seeds are coming in, they're just kind of popping up over there. But we've got such a backlog, and I've been keeping an eye on this, just by the way. We are still very far ahead. Because I've still got plenty of seeds here. And now where we are starting to kind of lag behind a little bit is actually in the canola oil production itself. You can see my presses are all empty, and I'm starting to run out of this oil. But I think we've got a little ways before we need to worry. And the reason I say that is the reason that we're out of all of those oils excuse me, is because over here I've got a full drum of empowered oil. So I think we're actually still ahead. So I'm not actually going to address not having any canola at this time. Now if I come over here and I start seeing this drum, when I'm checking on it, if it starts falling too far below its max here, you know, like if I say I notice that there's a trend of it emptying, then I may need to address our canola. But I think we're okay. I think this is exactly why I do this, is basically now I'm not killing my power gen. You know, this is an easily sustainable number. I know, you know, over 1,000, it looks like a lot, but we're generating a lot more than that. We're actually generating almost twice that amount. As each one of these is doing 350 RF a tick, so that's 700 times 3 is 2,100. We're actually producing 2,100 RF a tick. So I think we're going to be doing okay on that. Now one other thing I had to do was I had to reduce this range, because when it was still at the 99%, this capacitor was filling up and was not behaving properly. So I did end up lowering this number to 95% to get it to behave the way I wanted it to. Let's do a quick check on our powered spawner. Probably, yeah, this is going to be crafting for a while. There we go. I knew something wasn't right. Kept telling me the machine was in use. You always have to check on these buttons. Mine was stuck in furnace mode. I needed that to be on all smelting. This one was for some reason, but for some reason this one was still stuck on. That'll probably dramatically speed up the crafting of this particular item. But I think that is going to wrap up this episode today. We did get quite a bit done. Still a lot more to do. I really do hope you guys are enjoying the episode. Looks like I missed a little spot over there. I've been trying to kind of fill these windows in so it looks a little prettier. One of the last steps for the renovation for the first floor. But anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the episodes. Stay tuned for more episodes. Subscribe if you want to be notified when I put new episodes out. Be sure to leave a thumbs up for me if you're liking the episodes. Thanks for stopping by with us today, and take care.